Today, we're going to do a tangle called Rixty. We're going to start off like we always do, with dots and a frame. And for our string, we're just going to make some lines for the Rixty to follow. So I'm not really going to pay a lot of attention to what I'm doing, except I know that I want 3 lines and I want them to kind of curve together. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. This is how you do Rixty. Two parallel lines, kind of like poke root and poke leaf, but instead of a curve, we're just going to do a straight line. And then we're going to pull a line down and color that space in. And then we're going to aura that. Like that. And then we're just going to follow these lines along the curve with our Rixty. And we're going to leave some space to put a little bit extra right up there. And so now we're going to do the next line. And over here, we just have to use the holly bomb method when we're drawing our Rixty. Okay, so that's 2 of them. And now I'm going to go on with the 3rd one. Oops. So let's add a little bit to the tops of these Rixties. So for this, I'm going to do a muka, and I'm going to do it in that direction. And this one, I don't have a lot of room, so let's see. I will do this first. I think I'm also gonna, could I do a little muka there? I'm not sure. I think I'm also gonna do a muka here. I'm gonna go in the same direction, I think. Now, I purposefully kind of made this the same width as the Rixty stems. So, because I wanted to look more like it was flowing. I do feel like this is a little bit lonely though. So, I'm gonna pull out a fescue right there. And then maybe another fescue or a mini fescue. I don't even know. Maybe just a doodle of some sort. And I'm going to actually do that on this side. I felt like that was a little bit lonely. And so for this one though, there's really not a lot of room to do a lot. So I can certainly do a set of fescues that kind of mimic those mucas, because that way we still have this mirroring or continuing of that stem, but not enough to do the mucas. And so since I did this one, I'm gonna make this one also a little more decorative. This time I'm gonna put a little bit different thing in there. Make that a little bit bigger. So make a little zinger in there. Actually, I'm gonna try to turn this into a zinger as well. Let's smooth that out a bit. Okay. All right, I am going to color in these little corners here. Like that. And now we're going to get to the shading. Oh, before I get to the shading, I did want to connect these at the bottom a little bit. So it's really just a little bit of there we go. So, okay, so now we're going to do the shading. What I'm going to do, I'll show you on this big one here, is I'm going to put a little in each top corner. And spread that out like that. Let me do the mucas first, real quick, because those, I think I'm going to shade on this side. Shade on the, kind of the bottom side. And just spread that out lightly. Okay, so let me get started on my Rixty shading. What I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to put all the graphite down at once on one line and then shade it and then do that again. Since there's so many little pieces to shade, I think it'll go quicker if I do it this way. Don't want your video to be too long. And it's just really just the smallest bit of graphite that I'm putting in here, because it's a very small space. And now the last one. And there's your shaded Rixty. There's a couple of things that you can do to add a little bit more to this. We could add one of my favorites, which is sparkles. I'm not going to add a frame around it. So I think actually I like those sparkles.